Now that's a good and clean gas tank, looking like new. Nope. The inside is what counts. Hi, welcome to another episode of Not a Mechanic, Betty, where I try to do things and sometimes they just don't turn out the way that I planned. I've been working on this Suzuki 1981 Suzuki GS450L for a little while now, and I've been having so much problems with the carburetor. And I've taken it off 6 or 7 times trying to figure out what is the problem. It is so clean inside. Everything is, I got little wires, got cleaned out every jet, every passage, everything is perfect. But I'm still having problems. So I decided that it was the petcock. Maybe the vacuum diaphragm on it was leaking, allowing excess gas to get into the carburetor, causing the conditions which I was having problems with. And so this little valve on the side, this little vacuum valve on the carburetor side of the carburetor keeps popping off. It's like pressure is building up in the carburetor. So I was thinking it had to do with the carburetor, but I think it has to do with the petcock. So I ordered a new one. And when I went to take off the old one, this is what I found. Yeah, look at that. Look at what came out. So that's what's going into my carburetor, more than likely. I cleaned the tank. I cleaned it with rust remover. It was so bad that it was completely covered with rust. And now that I didn't think that there was any more rust in it, and when I took that off and saw that mess, it was kind of refreshing to know that maybe that's what the problem is after all, is just all that junk going through the fuel lines. So I'm out here cleaning it out. Let me show you what I got so far. Look at that came out the gas tank. So yeah, could cause a problem getting the fuel through the lines, and the tiny carburetor jets, the fuel has to be atomized, and when there's giant chunks of rust or whatever garbage that is in there, it's not going to be able to do its job pretty completely. So I'm out here cleaning the tank again. I tried using some carb choke cleaner, spraying it in there, but it really wasn't doing as good as I needed it to. So I just took it out to the hose and filled it up with water, shook it around, and now I'm cleaning it out. So right now I'm using the hair dryer to get all of the excess water out of the tank. I need it to be completely dry, and I just ran down to the store and picked up a gallon of gas to put the gas in. I'll be replacing the fuel petcock with the new one I bought, and hopefully that, coupled with the cleaning of the tank, will solve my problems. I hope so. Let me get back to work. Well, it's very clean in a lot of places, but if I stick my fingers in here and feel the top of it, it feels really rough and powdery, and it's got a coating of rust that comes off on my hands. So if it comes off on my hands, it's gonna come off when there's fuel in the tank. And I want to get this done right, even though I already soaked it once for a couple days with the rust remover. I think that's probably gonna be the best thing for me to do right now, is to put that rust remover back in here and let it soak for overnight before I put in the new fuel petcock and attach it back to the bike. I drained out the evapor rust that it had been soaking in, and there's some big chunks. I don't know, let me see if I can show you. Some more chunks came out. Let me see if I can turn it slow and maybe you could see those pieces of rust in there. Keep in mind that this is used product. I had soaked the tank in it before, so all that discoloration is not necessarily just from this tank, but those chunks of stuff, that was what just came out. But I got it cleaned out and dried. I held the hair dryer in there for, it felt like an hour, making sure it was totally bone dry. And now I got some fresh gasoline I'll put in it, but before I put that gas in it, I'm gonna put the petcock on it, and then we'll put it back on the bike, and hopefully that'll solve our problems. So that is totally dry and clean. We have the new gasket. I really don't like how loose that is, but maybe this will keep it on. Now what? Looks like that screen is a little too long. I hate to put that old dirty screen on it. Let me see what I can do. So I was looking at the old screen, and it is flexible and looks like it was bent on the end. It's the same length as this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the new one on, and I'm just gonna shove it in there till this end bends a little bit. It's just screen, so it's not going to mess it up. And we'll just tighten these down. And it should hopefully work the way that we want it to. I ran up to the store and got a new piece of tubing and put my fitting on it. So this should get hooked to this one. And this should hook to the carburetor. So it looks like this new one's not gonna fit. The difference in the old and the new. The old one has the fuel inlet on the side, and the new one has it over here on this side. And it's hitting part of the frame, so there's no way I can reroute the hose or anything because there's not enough room in there to hook it. So it's not a total loss. I'm just gonna take off the part with the diaphragm because that's what more than likely is the problem. And yeah, since the fuel outlet is on the main body of the petcock, the side with the diaphragm and the side with the adjuster can both be removed. I can possibly put the new ones on, but just use this body here and it should hook right up to it will hook right up because that's the original one that came with it. So let's take this back off and change it around. Now it's time to add the gas and see if it leaks all out all over the floor. No, I hope it doesn't do that, but I hope it goes where it needs to go in the proportion it needs to have. Nothing looks to be leaking. Let me open the garage door and crank this thing up and see if it runs. Let's see if it cranks. know about you, but I really don't feel safe riding on a motorcycle, driving a motorcycle that the idle keeps flying up that high. It concerns me that it could cause the bike to surge forward and throw me off or something, and I really don't want that to happen. So we're gonna just keep on working on it and try to figure this out. So no driving today. I don't know what it could be. Could be the float valve. It might be the float valve. I guess I'll go ahead and order another one. The needle and seat. When I looked at the one that it came with, it seems to be in perfect condition. There was no pitting or scratches on the needle where it fitted to the seat. It looked like it was nice and smooth all the way around. The screen under it was clean, but that's the only thing I could think of. If you have other ideas, maybe drop them down below, and I'll try to take your advice and see what I can do to fix this bike. I'd really like it to be running good before I sell it. I don't want to sell a project to somebody. I want to have it a complete running bike when I sell it. Whew. But I don't know what's going on. Maybe one of you do. That'd be cool. But yep, I guess we'll end this video here. We didn't really get anything done. I mean, hey, we got the tank cleaned out, so that is another step forward. And I'm sure all that rust and gunk that was in there could have caused some of the problems, and who knows, maybe now the carburetor's full of stuff and I'll have to clean it out again. I don't know. So y'all take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.